everyone, Lou here. With today being the last day of the year, I thought it'd be fun to talk about anime I watched this year in 2022. Keep in mind that not every single anime is gonna be on here because I watched a lot this year and not all of it will be new because I'm trying to tick off my older anime watch list too, but I hope you guys will enjoy it anyway. Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Now, I'm not like this super huge fan of the cyberpunk genre because frankly, I mostly enjoy the music associated with the genre, but I actually was pretty excited for Cyberpunk 2077, especially when literal human sunshine Keanu Reeves was set to star in it. However, the game turned into a complete disaster and only recently fixed its disastrous reputation like No Man's Sky. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a spin-off to the game set in my sunshine state of California about a Hispanic teenager named David Martinez who becomes a cyberpunk after his mom died and putting on a mysterious spinal cord cybernetic. To some, it reminded them of the video game in terms of a character receiving a mysterious cybernetic, so it was seen as some kind of recycle of the game, but me, I loved this anime. The biggest strength of this anime was definitely the animation done by the talented folks at Studio Trigger. If you love high-quality anime, cyberpunk stories, interesting characters, depressing storyline, heavily relatable themes, and a damn good soundtrack, oh man, Cyberpunk Edgerunners is pretty good. Chainsaw Man. To be honest, I think I was the only person watching Chainsaw Man without knowing a thing about the manga beforehand. I mean, I saw the memes using panels and cosplays of the character obviously, but I mean, the premise and what the characters were actually like? No clue. I have to say that going blind was a unique experience when I was surrounded by other people who knew the story already, but from someone who's never read the manga, this was a really fantastic anime. It's not often that I see a story bring up poverty in a way that doesn't feel like a parody of people who are actually in poverty. You know, like making them dream of unattainable things like sparkly princess dresses or something. In this case, seeing Denji only really wants the bare minimum is both heartbreaking and honestly refreshing for a shonen anime. It's what makes me appreciate anime like this one and Jujutsu Kaisen for making protagonists with more day-to-day ideals instead of something over the top like becoming the world's #1 superhero at 16 and shit. To me, Denji feels like if you threw Pun Pun from Oyasumi Pun Pun into a shonen anime, and for that, it's honestly pretty fucking fantastic. Not to mention the animation is just brilliant. Good god, Mappa keeps knocking it out of the park with every release so far. Overall, Chainsaw Man is pretty good. Bludgeoning Angel Tokurachan. Oh my gosh, this anime was fucking hilarious. Basically, the plot is like Doraemon, where some kid royally fucks up as an adult in the future, except instead of ending up in overwhelming debt, he ends up forcing all women to physically stop aging at 13 and immortal, so he just made a pedo problem for the entire fucking world, I guess. In comes Dokura-chan, an angel sent to kill him to prevent this future from happening, except, Dokura-chan has a major crush on him, so instead she tries to make him a fucking idiot, so he'll never be smart enough to make women immortal at 13. Honestly, despite how gory this anime was, it was absolutely fucking hilarious, and I'm sad it's only 4 episodes long. Overall, if you want some overly gory slapstick comedy, Dokura-chan was really good. Too bad it's so short, but I hope someday it gets a reboot. Golden Boy. You know, going into this anime, I was genuinely expecting not to like it, because usually ecchi comedy isn't my thing, but this anime was actually pretty fucking hilarious. What do you know when ecchi comedy can actually do comedy instead of look boob funny? Cause that's usually my experience with pervy comedy anime. I also really love the art style. It's like peak 90s anime with the poofy hair, wide eyes, yet an attempt at a somewhat realistic style. I mean, however you describe this, I love it. I don't know, there's just something both hilarious and really down to earth about this anime that I don't think you see a lot in today's anime. Everything feels very 90s, but in a good way. I mean, I may have been born in 1997, but damn, if a lot of these outfits in this anime don't tick some kind of nostalgia for me. The movement is also really lovely too. Sure, it can be stiff in some places, but there's also a lot of liveliness to it that you just don't see too often anymore. Overall, if you want to laugh at an idiot just going around being a golden boy and accidentally making women fall in love with him by accidentally doing something really smart or heroic, then I really recommend it. Now that I think about it, this anime kind of felt like the Japanese equivalent to Johnny Bravo, I guess, except if Johnny Bravo wasn't sexist, and every woman who met him actually fell in love with him. Baki. Baki is pretty much this Skyrim parody video. Because gosh, this anime tries so hard to be pure heterosexual testosterone that it turns into Bada Camp for me. I mean, this anime is just fucking ridiculous. I love it. From having an extremely poor understanding of physics, the human body, and size distribution, oh man. Baki as a main character is very enjoyable because he's a smug little shit, but overall a good boy. But the other characters, I like them, but wow, motivations and people literally killing each other make no sense. A guy literally almost killed another guy's father, and he just starts treating him like a bestie solely because he spared another guy's life? Like, what? Not to mention, literally no one dies. Like, I'm sure a character could get their brains blown out or the person becomes full-on Swiss cheese and they will still be alive and kicking. Hell, these characters are filled with so much manly muscles, maybe the bullets wouldn't even hit through anything and just deflect like Superman. Overall, Baki is enjoyable if you like overly hyper masculinity, because wow, sometimes it feels like it was definitely compensating for something. Demon Slayer. Yes, it took me this long to actually watch Demon Slayer, but once I did, oh man, I love it. Now, it does have the whole magical breathing magic thing similar to JoJo's Part 1, which I always thought was a little silly, but I can't deny that flame breathing and water breathing actually look pretty fucking cool. I also love that the story focuses on a lot of familial and platonic love. It's really refreshing to see the bond between a brother and sister in an anime portrayed as purely familial instead of surprise or implied incest like most anime would probably do. That, and when there is romance, it's not really a major part, instead an exploration on different kinds of bonds people have. Not to mention how fucking tragic everybody's backstories are. Like, Rui in particular felt like a punch to the gut, and man, does this series really make you fucking hate Muzan Kibutsuji and his Michael Jackson looking ass. If you ask me what my favorite characters were, definitely Rengoku and Uzui. I mean, I'm just saying, but I wouldn't mind being Uzui's fourth wife if you know what I mean. Outside of my stupid jokes though, Demon Slayer has quickly become one of my new favorite anime of all time. Season 2 that came out this year literally had me physically gasping in shock and holding my breath at some of these fights because holy shit. Overall, Demon Slayer was just really, really good and a breath of fresh air for the shonen genre that I feel is often a little stale sometimes. Record of Ragnarok. This was recommended to me by a friend of mine, and wow, this anime is a really good series. This is purely an entire tournament arc show, and I just love it. I am a huge fan of mythology and history, so it's really awesome to see a series combine my two favorite nerdy subjects into a fighting anime. I mean, how many anime can you say has Beelzebub fight against Nikola Tesla? Cause let me tell y'all, that is one combination I wouldn't have believed if you told me. Not to mention the art style in this anime is ridiculously pretty and fun, as characters can look fucking gorgeous one minute and then pull off these intense and slightly goofy expressions. Though the anime does get a little bit funky in the first season near the end to what I was assuming is budgeting issues at the studio or something, and to my knowledge wasn't fixed in the Blu-ray releases. There's also some CGI that was used a few times, but it was understandable given that these animators had to animate elaborate fights, so they probably just didn't have the time to animate a violin playing scene in 2D. Another thing is that it does really heavily rely on Greek mythology more than Norse, Buddhism, Shintoism, and others. I assume it's because some of those religions are particularly sensitive, primitive as they're practiced today, unlike Greek mythology, so it makes sense why we don't see certain ones more often. Overall, if you're a huge nerd for mythology and history like me, you're gonna absolutely love Record of Ragnarok. Uda Uda. I've never actually read the original 1978 manga, and I've never watched the anime from 1981, but I do have these really vague memories of always seeing Lum somewhere anytime anime was mentioned or shown in indie stores and online groups. Like, I have a specific memory of someone creating a custom Lum on an old pull-up doll forum website called Pull-up Style. Despite never actually seeing it, I decided to check out the 2022 reboot because I'm assuming this is going to be like Fruits Basket 2019 levels of accuracy and overall respect and pure love to the creator. Keep in mind though that I still haven't read the manga though. This anime is just so damn funny and oddly adorable. I mean, yeah, I know this anime is now controversial because Lum beats Ataru's ass a lot, so a lot of really sensitive people call this domestic violence. Despite the fact that this is just a slapstick rom-com, but I deeply enjoyed this anime. From the gorgeous coloring, beautifully nostalgic art style, really fucking funny humor, Lum being an adorable character, and Ataru being a little shit, but a likable little shit, makes this just a wonderful anime. No wonder Urusei Yatsura has been on everyone's vintage anime recommendation list. I mean, besides everyone finding Lum to be hot or something. I don't like women, so Lum is just a pretty character to me. I think ending it here is pretty good, so thank you guys so much for watching this video and sticking around throughout all of 2022. You guys have shown a lot of overwhelming support this year for a lot of videos that I wasn't expecting to do well, and seeing that support just makes me really excited for next year, where hopefully you guys will continue to stick around for any new and exciting videos and projects I plan to share. Hope you guys have a fun and safe New Year's. Did you guys watch any of the anime here? Are you planning to? As always, let me know down below. Hey guys, thanks for watching! If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new. If any of you would like to help support my channel in any possible way, my Ko-fi page is down below in the description, along with all of my social media. For any subscribers, new or old, who'd like to help with video ideas, or maybe just want to talk about anime or something, I have a fan server linked down below. See you next time!